random hotline. Sorry, we missed your call.
Sorry we missed your call.
Sorry, your aunt's busy. She's trying to figure out Instagram right now. So I don't have my password. I have my email in, but I don't remember the password. And it turns out everyone's using the Grams now. So I'm going to get on here so that all y'all can communicate with me.
I love the Grams.
A graham cracker is great. Originally made by a pastor who was trying to stop people from masturbating. Very much a Kellogg type guy, but different. Graham flour.
Interesting.
How's everyone doing?
Also, there's without a gram, there wouldn't be a phone.
Ooh.
So true. That's part of why I love it. Ahoy,
oh my
hoy,
fucking
this
God.
is phony.
I'm an idiot. Are those fucking companies named after Alexander Graham Bell?
Like Instagram?
No.
The Bell?
Ma Bell. All that bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were named after Bell.
Why? Yeah. Why? Why did I not just think to myself, it's a ringer. It's ringing. I just took a bell because a phone rings. I literally never made the secondary connection of Alexander Graham Bell. That's as simple as what it was. I'm not trying to be an idiot. I just knew that old-time phones had the bell ring on it, so I just did a one-for-one connection.
Well, I think
it's a fun
its logo was a bell. It's not like its logo was a bearded man who wanted to breed deaf people out of existence.
Oh, well,
I mean, you're right. It's not that.
Yeah. Well, I think that that they named the sound Bell named after Graham Bell.
Wait, you think bells are named after him?
Bell invented both the phone and bells.
That's why a collection of bells is called a Watson. There's a great play, and I'm trying to think of the name of it.
Baron and the Junk Dealer?
That is true. We'll get to that. But it's something about, it might be like The Importance of Being Watson. It's not that. But it's
The Importance of Being Ernest?
No. There's a play where there's three parallels. It is Alexander Graham Bell and his Watson, Sherlock Holmes and his Watson, and Watson the supercomputer getting ready to play on Jeopardy. And it's a story where it just parallels the three of them. I did a reading of it years ago, but this is pre-pandemic, and everything pre-pandemic is fuzzy as fuck. I'm also just getting older. And so I want to just like reread that play because now that we're talking about it, it's intrigued me. But like all the Watson stuff, there's a fun thread between them all.
Nice.
So, Baron and the Junk Dealer. Now, Blogtoven, you have not had a chance to see it, correct?
No. I watched the shows that have been I watched the live stream for the LA shows, and then I watched the Sketchfest show because that's on YouTube now.
That's so Frasier.
Yes. But I have not something like that which has not been released on YouTube. I have not experienced.
Okay, that's fine.
It was also not in Edinburgh. In case people
How much do you want us to talk around what the play is about?
I mean, we definitely can't spoil anything.
Yeah, because I know there's a lot of people who haven't seen it in the chat. I know a lot of us have, so I want to like be able to talk around some of the themes and things without like getting into spoilers of what goes on. You know?
So there's a Baron.
There's the Junk Dealer.
Well, now you ruined the whole thing for me. Now I'm not going to watch it. Now, if they say I can watch it, I don't want to watch it anymore.
It's about two fugitives, a mysterious aristocrat and a paranoid junk merchant stranded on a desolate planet, waiting to be rescued or killed.
That's exactly it. I will just say
there's also a Patrick.
Here's what Phony and I talked a little bit about this beforehand, and here's some of the things that I think we can say without spoiling about the play. One, it is fantastic. It is not just a good piece of comedy, theater, it is a good piece and a good example of traditional theater of the absurd. A play that is commenting about storytelling or about characters or about the experience of a show, things like that. I'll just say like that's, you know, kind of like
Got
a
it.
little like you're thinking about it and stuff. So it's like a good like
Yeah.
play in that like that just sort of realm. Which is fun because I just like that on there. So like if you it's a good example of just like enjoying it because it's waiting for Godot-esque. I don't you know, it's even hard to describe the plot because like the synopsis is kind of like the plot in essence.
Yeah.
Like that is what you're going to see. It is about two fugitives. and
There's
a
also
discredited junk
bones,
version.
makeup, 2 chairs, and a colon joke.
Yeah. So like it's just hard to be like, well, sure we could talk more about it, but also it would be just that. I really enjoyed George Lucas's performance. He's
Good.
very good. He has a very commanding presence. He knows how to be low energy but high status compared to Watto's performance, which is very high energy but sort of low status. And that's what they play with. And of course, great theater, 2 characters, that status switches around. It's great. I enjoyed seeing Watto actually acting in moments like
Yeah.
where people were chuckling partly because Watto is seriously acting. So there's that weird meta layer where like, wow, Watto's a great actor. They're really going for it. But like, Watto, what are you doing? You know, you're Watto. And George also as well has like a really great stoic presence too. So I enjoyed it. The script structure is great. It flew by. It's like 90 minutes, so you get your
They
money's
do
worth.
really go for it too. Like I
It's
want to
not Irish
understand.
Oh,
Wow.
they
that.
go. Yes, it is well acted, and you get for your money an emotionally impacting ending. I'll say that much.
Well, there you go.
I felt feelings afterwards,
I did
not
too.
just joy at seeing the show, and not just laughing as well. But you will have plenty of laughs, and if you like stories, I think you'll laugh at well. And the last layer is, it is perfect canon for Georgie Porgies.
Mhm.
It's
Got
not
it.
full of inside jokes. There are a few good, I'm not even going to get close to spoiling, jokes that if you've seen the George Lucas talk show, you're going to instantly know, and it's for you. But
Yeah.
it also could just be taken as like an absurd comment by one of the characters. That's just, you know, a silly thing to say. You know what I mean? That double sort of layer on there. Yeah. Any other thoughts that you had, Phony, on it? Sorry, I've been waxing poetic about it.
Because Phony was off the hook.
I was off. I
Yeah.
was the phone who was off the hook at Baron and the Junk Dealer, George Prov, and the George Lucas talk show at Sketchfest. I think it's really. I didn't expect to feel as much. I didn't expect for it to feel connected to the George Lucas talk show as much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really curious what non-Georgie Porgies would think of it, because if you've seen George and Watto's other work, there really is a lot to like. There are some fun little small callbacks, but I think it stands on its own.
Yeah, agreed.
Great.
And also,
I think you could tweak it ever so slightly. I don't think it'd be as impactful because I think it's very special the way that it is. But you can make it not about the Baron and not about the junk dealer, you know, and this story could work just on a good theater absurd commentary level. But it's just a great special combo. It was magical.
Yeah. No, I mean, sounds amazing. I'm sure it'll be around this area sometime.
Wizard Live, you make me want to write a one-act play now called and we'll just see where that goes.
But interestingly enough, I believe the 3 of us all did get a chance to see. I didn't get to see George, but I did get to see Connor Ratliff this last Saturday because
Ooh.
somehow he was there. He was in Philly for Rat Scraps after just being. But he did at least 7 shows in the last week.
I also saw
A lot
Connor
of shows.
Ratliff at the Trav Venture Zone,
Yeah,
which happened to be the day after GLTS.
Yeah, it's interesting that he was there right around the same time that they were doing a GLTS.
All right, children. I figured out the Instagram, so I'm being able to post it on here
Wow.
so that y'all are gonna be able to, like, you know, chat with your aunt on here. I need a more. We still. This is conversation bleeding over from Wizworld Live. I would like no offense, Wizworld Live, a better gender neutral term for an aunt or an uncle that is not unculus.
Ooh.
Not saying that that's terrible. It's not the worst thing ever, but it still has a little bit of a you know, going on there.
What about like an unt?
We've thought about unt. It's a little unculum. See, cum. It
well,
just has like you take
it's-
two of those letters out and you got uncum. It's so like hard.
Yeah.
What about ent?
So uncula would be feminine, I guess. That I'm assuming.
Yeah, I feel I unt works except for the fact that you are very close to saying a much different word.
Yes, exactly.
No, I said ent.
I do like
Ent. Like a tree, like an ent.
An ent, yeah. I think so. I don't mind saying this. In my personal life, I'm adopting the name Mavis.
Because I guess
so
sibling is nephew,
Okay.
but what about pibbling? I like it, but what about the pibbling fits?
Pibbling?
Pibbling is
Pibbling?
Because you're the
Parent
parental
sibling?
sibling.
parent sibling.
Pibbling.
Got it.
Pibbling.
Got
Pibbling. Pibbling Missy. Pibbling Missy.
Like pibbling and nibbling.
Well, I'm also going to be going by the name Mavis, so maybe I just tell my nieces and nephews to call me Mavis, like, you know, how you call, like, Nana, Nana.
I'm
and
so
call
excited
Papa,
for you to
Papa.
teach them typing.
I'm so excited. Thank you for sharing that documentary about my hero and my icon and my namesake. It's so great. It is 95% Mavis Beacon and
Wow.
5% Mavis from Young Adult. And it's only because I don't want to admit how much I'm like Mavis from Young Adult yet. It's like I don't want to admit
I'm sorry.
how much I'm like Kate Berlant, which is why my beef with her remains, because I went to her show,
Right.
and this is personal. It made me furious because all I wanted to do was to do that fucking thing, and it got me so pissed off. I'm just like, God damn it! This is I was like, it was such a weird emotional thing. So I did go see it, but the beef remains with Kate Berlant. It is funny. But we'll move on for that. Yeah, George Prov is great. What was the one word that your George Prov was for San Francisco, Phony?
Calculator.
Fun. What was the? We don't have to talk about it beat for beat. What was
Right.
the starting premise of
I
work
feel
that
like
he used for
There's-
calculator?
I don't know what you guys watch, but I feel like there's no way you could spoil a George Roth.
It was that a guy needed $1 million to make a movie, and he
Okay.
got it from George Lucas.
Okay.
Nice.
And then he goes down different alleyways where there's like a back alley surgery.
Mhm.
James Cameron has a cameo.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it got wild. He like asked for a word, and they were so slow to give one that he walked off stage until someone gave a word.
That's amazing. Ours had one fairly quickly-ish. The word that was presented was museum.
Oh, of course.
So George
Well-
started with an idea of, hello, I'm George Lucas, and I would like a museum, Chicago. Here, you can have this museum. And then Rob Emanuel was like, no. Then he went to San Francisco, and they were like, no. And then he's like, well, I guess I'll do it in LA. Then it like cuts back to San Francisco, and it goes to the life of the person who denied the request for the museum, and his twin brother, and how their involvement of one of them killing the other sent them to hell. So we meet the devil, who's in hell, which is above. That's the trick, because you think heaven's above. It is. It's like a layered, building. There's like supplies and bullshit on the first level. Then there's hell. So you think you're going to heaven. Then there's heaven. But then
That
you
is
go
a
to hell.
good
And you're like,
trick.
oh, I'm floating up. So various characters start floating up as a running gag, and you're like, oh, I'm going up. Am I going to heaven? And you're like, oh no. But then also the devil revealed himself to be almost every single character within the show, including the clerk at the end. So, and then it ends with George Lucas killing the devil. And then the devil dies and he starts floating up and he goes, oh, am I?
I
It
would
was one of
love
the
to
best-
watch George
I know
Lucas.
I spelled it. It's one of the
Oh, yeah.
best singular rounding of a bit. It was just perfect. But yes, it was. I just love the fact that the conceit was George Lucas wants to make a museum. This
When we were slow to give it a word, he did say, "I thought this was going to be a rowdy festival crowd
oh my god, yes.
because it was 9:30 and everyone was soaked." Was it storming for you too?
So it was yes.
Is the weather following George?
Weird. Oh,
yeah,
there's a
so I
bumper for
landed the
that.
day that the 100-year flood started.
Oh,
So we didn't have that. So we didn't have like crazy flooding where we were there in like her area. No, not.
oh,
Oh no,
We
Play
had
Me Watching.
ABBA.
I'm so sorry. My brain was like interpreted as him incorporating it into the show. No, yes, there was that music playing, and he started the conceit with "This is all motion captured image improv that we are plugging in real time, and this is just a
And he was wearing
hologram
his-
projected onto an actor."
was he wearing his ABBA shirt?
Yes.
Did he
And,
ask someone to touch his hand to prove there was an
yes.
actor underneath? And did
Yes,
they?
they did.
Okay. They also did at ours.
But it was great because that was the second show. The audience was a lot more intimate, and I don't mean that to say in like a bad way. Like it was still pretty full, but it wasn't as full. But there was an audience member that was in both shows.
You?
Yes, I was there at both shows. Someone else was. They were
Alex?
a guest Monday night.
Oh, I know who it was.
You know who it is. They were a guest Monday night at the show, and she was laughing. I could tell by her hulking presence that she was there. So the first show, I left her alone, and I said, "Oh, nice, she's here." Second time, it was much smaller. So after the show, I just stopped and was like, "Hey, I loved you in Network." She's like, "Oh my gosh, you gotta see it. Great. What'd you think of the play?" I'm like, "Wasn't it great?" Blah, blah, blah. We talked like a little back and forth about just like how it is good theater of the absurd and Connor, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, "Hey, I happen to have my book because I was at Lily Sullivan's show last night, and she signed the book. Can I ask you impositionally to sign it?" And she was like, "Absolutely." So I have both Lily Sullivan's from her one-woman show and Tatiana Masalagni's.
She seems so
furniture
cool.
right there. She's so
Oh,
cool. I
I
also
mean-
met Will Hines because Alex knows Will Hines.
Yes.
The
But
improv guy.
I did not ask for his signature because I already had it. But I was like, fuck, I should have asked him as a bit and been like, "I know you've already signed it, but will you sign it again?" And then I'm going back in May, and if I happen to run into him again there, I want to be like, "Hey," he's like, "I'll do it again next time that I see him." He's very nice.
Yeah, and I just say that LA show, the
Mhm.
regular show was already after dark. You know,
You
It
want
was
to talk
already
about
after
it being
dark level.
crazy? Think about it being in the room. I was front stage
Um,
right with Alice, so like we were
yeah.
Stephen Charleston, both forms was there, right there, and
Yeah.
we're like, wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, I mean, as I think everyone knows, Stephen Charleston's easily my favorite thing that has happened with George Lucas Talk Show,
Oh,
and what happened on that
mine too.
stage was the best thing possible.
I never thought we'd get him and his roommate on the same show at the same time.
I mean,
That was insane.
I mean, for me
Also,
from home,
when it
I had
happened,
experience. I
How
want to
much
know.
it felt and looked like it. Sorry, I didn't
It-
interrupt. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. For watching it from home, it was very impressive. But in person, I imagine.
It was uncanny. There was one brief moment I did genuinely forget. It was Stephen
Yeah.
Charleston.
Yeah.
So I looked over and saw Rich. I'm like, "Hi, Rich." I looked over. I'm like, "Stephen Charleston." And it's like, "Oh, right."
Because I was gonna say it was truly a Tony Clifton moment for me.
Dr. President.
Abba good
Oh,
presents.
He was so happy slash indifferent when I got home. The cat, not Alex.
it's,
I mean, Alex, was his usual
Yeah.
indifferent.
I'm
yeah.
so
no,
sorry
I mean,
that your shirt got given out, Lena.
but yeah, it was like having Tony Clifton and Andy Kaufman on stage at the same
Yeah.
time. It truly blew my mind when it happened.
Oh, no, wait. Which shirt of yours? Oh,
good.
okay, got it. I was it a shirt that you won in an auction or something? Okay.
But at least you get to pick one now out of the set of 12. So
it's decent. You
that's
get a
pretty cool.
replacement.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Which one was it?
I'll answer this question holistically in a second. I want to find that answer out too. So yeah, obviously part of Alice and I was going was the show. So the first show was great. I'll say this. Second show, way different energy in the room. I was really chilled and was like, just vibe. Like, here's what Alice and I talked about. The moment that the bee costumes were thrown on stage, it became an antagonistical sort of like energy, just like comedically, but it just sort of like stayed in this weird like limbo where I'm like, oof, I'm feeling how tired I am because everyone here is just sort of like, but it still had some really great funny moments.
Yeah.
It just was like very different energy compared to the first one. It was almost like I was exhausted also having just been in the room with that first one.
Yeah, it was and then of course for me I watched the live stream and I purposely got home from work, took a nap and so I could wake up and watch both shows. But yeah. You think it's late there, it's 3 hours later here.
I was sitting there when all of a sudden I realized the chat was like being a lot quieter.
Yeah.
I was just sort of like, okay. I remembered, oh, right. It's like, if it's midnight ending here, it's 1 a.m. on the East Coast. So it,
no.
1 a.m. No. 3 a.m. on the East Coast. So like everyone's dead asleep.
Yeah.
It was 3 a.m.
I remembered back to the LA show. I'm like, oh, right. The Missy moment happened at like 1:30 a.m. my time. Like, it was that delirious. And that's why it was as weird as it was for me, too. Because it's just like, is this actually happening? Like, okay, it is. Like, this is my life now.
I haven't seen them yet either. I've just seen the clip, like the photos on Instagram and stuff about them.
Oh, really? Well, I would say,
I'll watch them once they're on YouTube, or I'll listen to them because I'm a phone.
Oh, right, of course.
Yes, they're great. You will enjoy them. But be prepared. The first one's very crazy.
Good.
It's maybe one of the top 5 most wild George Lucas talk show. At least live ones for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say if you are someone like me who's constantly being like, hey, there's this crazy thing I watch. It's called the George Lucas Talk Show. That's the episode to show them because it will make sense enough for anyone dropping.
Well, you'd have to build in a little bit of canon. I would say you lead in with a slight clip. You lead in with a clip of like, hey, here's Stephen Charleston. And then it's like, okay, now here, watch this episode. Did Missy see the photo of Phony at the show? I don't think I did. Is it on the gram of Insta?
No, but I have it here.
Okay.
Because it's technically me off the.
Oh yes.
It's technically me being the phone off the hook after the show.
You should have seen the look on Rich's face when Patrick. You could tell he was invoking Stephen Charleston's presence. This is amazing. Amazing. I love to see it.
George was still tipsy in that photo off the Skywalker wine, which is why you can see George has so many of the friendship bracelets.
I'll also say you cannot believe how shimmery Tatiana's outfit from the first show was in real life. It was incredible. So Alice and I flew in on Sunday night, the rainstorm, we just chilled. I will say throughout the week, Alice and I watched The Traitors season 1 and season 2. So
oh my God.
Master, I'm flooding people. I thought you were talking about Blacktoven. We have got to fucking talk about this sometime. I didn't realize you were part of it. We need to make a thread. I'm not joking. It's my favorite show right now. I'm obsessed with it. It's so good. And this season of US 2 is so good. Did you watch the UK season?
Yes.
Oh my God. Wasn't it so good?
Yeah. And what I like best is Australian.
Oh, Australia 2? That was fucking insane and awful, and I hated it. And that ending was justice.
I love Australian. I also like with Australian that what they have to do is actually like, oh my God, they have to do this like very physical job.
That's why the strategy of doing what you do to eliminate players is what it is. I'm being oblique. Okay, we're gonna have to have a side conversation about this.
Yes, well, so this will certainly be a future former randoms show. So
Yes.
let us
Oh
know.
no, I want to do a version of the
Traders
Traders
Draft?
on ours. I know it's just like Mafia, but that's why I'm obsessed with it. Is that I grew up playing Mafia in my youth group. I was the Alan Cumming of my group. I would narrate and moderate games and would play every once in a while. But the part about me being pegged as a player is that people be like, "Oh, Missy's really good, so we're gonna like murder her or vote her out because like if they're a traitor, they're gonna like try and get me out, and if it's a good person, there's like I don't know if you would be a good murderer though, and it's like, but I'm not. I'm just like earnest.
That's
Traitor's
how they
Draft,
get
oh
you.
my god. So yes, but I am obsessed. I've seen all the English language versions, including New Zealand, which is great because it has 3 Taskmaster New
Zealand.
Zealand connections.
Who does it? I mean, are there any of them from season 2? Because that's the only one I've seen.
Oh yes, Matt Heath is on it. It's amazing.
Oh,
I'll spoil this right away because because it happens. It happens in the first episode. He's one of the traitors.
Oh, good. That's good.
Here's what's gonna happen. Someone, I don't know who, a magical, we'll call it internety, will make a folder that might have files for the traitors if anyone wants to watch them. Because I legit think it's one of the best TV shows on air right now. You can tell by how excited I am. The way I'm talking about this, like I am Taskmaster. Like it's that level of great. And I don't like reality TV. So
You know what they
the fact
should
that I like
do?
this is
They should combine those 2 shows.
Traitor
well,
Master?
if you think about it, the challenges are sort of just big tasks from Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Get this catapult up the hill, fling the catapult. You win $10,000. Your time starts now. Like that is what it is. Okay, deep breath. I got too excited there.
But you're watching current season, right?
Yes. Oh yes.
I
We got
no
caught up on
spoilers.
that.
With
No spoilers
Scottie
for current
Pippen's
season.
ex-wife and Michael Jordan's son?
Yeah, who are together in it. They broke up in real life. So which traitor got him? Blocktoven, this is a joke for you. Oh Lord, not Ikensu!
Yeah, so non-spoiler, although I guess if you think about it enough, maybe it's a spoiler, but I feel like this season, I think it's the single dumbest attempt at the game.
This game is broken because of one player's fucking stupid decision.
Yeah.
We're not going to say for which side,
No.
but there's a moment that changed the game in season 2, and I've never seen it like anything like it happen in any of the versions. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we're gonna have it. Can someone make a thread? Someone make a goddamn Discord thread for Planet Scum
Yeah.
right now and say it's for all Trader seasons.
Also-
we'll put spoilers up for like some discussions, but yeah.
All
you
this
watch the
happened
Traders thing
so
from the
long
boys?
ago, but let me find it. Here we go. We need to make this a shirt.
Oh my god. On George Lucas's Baron and the
I mean,
Junk
I
Dealer,
feel like
players
they
become
need to
junk
make
dealers
that
who
a
help
shirt.
The Baron and the Junk Dealer's main protagonist, the Baron, protect the Baron and the Junk Dealer's audience from which of these long and overly inside jokes?
I will say, I'm not. I think it'll be if anyone makes any George Lucas talk show related thing merch, it'll have to be the George Lucas talk show.
I guess so.
So maybe I can send them something and
That's true.
There you go. Sorry.
We should make a shirt that says, "Why is it called missed calls if no one calls?"
yeah. Remember when that was what this show was?
I'm afraid
We
to
should
log
just call
into
it
it.
former randoms at this point.
We could just call it former randoms. Yeah.
But here's the thing is, I like the missed calls part because I don't want to eliminate your role in this.
No.
Funny.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, I mean, I could still just be hanging out.
I think we should make a decision here. Let's put in the chat. I think we should officially change the name of the show to Missy Calls with the former randoms.
Oh.
I'm not. This is not me doing a bit. Literally, I could never ever personally I'm not saying no, but I'm so like uncomfortable advocating being like, yeah, I want you to do that. That I'm like, that needs to be an everyone else but me decision. I can't go either way on this. I have to be true neutral.
Although we could keep,
My
and I think
Midwest
we
nice
have
brain
calls,
is
but
broken
of
right
course
now.
we do, because we do have phony still.
Yeah.
Because here's
Phony
the
is
thing
essentially
you know
the
what's so
reason
funny
why
about
we
that,
still
though?
have
Okay.
calls.
Yeah. I take calls. There's no one rings.
Yeah. Here's the thing about this Blocktoven though. I don't think you realize how mentally sensitive I was when I first joined this show because I was like, I really don't think people think I'm coming in to take over this and just be like, it's the fucking Missy show, everyone. Look at me. I want the. I'm like, no, you all wanted this, so I'm just like doing it because of that. Like, I hope this is fine. And obviously it is. But yeah, that's the part of my brain that's just like, oh no.
Yeah.
Please
Well-
don't.
Well, let's say it's on the table.
Yeah.
But if we got rid of the calls entirely, then we wouldn't have Phony. And Phony is,
Mhm.
you know,
I mean, I would just be a panelist at that point.
What about missed calls with Blog or Filmer Randoms with Blog and Missy?
or we could just call. Oh, actually, we could just name the show after our mascot, Holy.
Holy?
It
The
could just be
Holy-
called
the
Holy.
Variety
The Holy
Hour.
Show? We might get some other types of followers if we called it the Holy
Yeah.
Show.
Also, everyone, in case you haven't noticed, we have dropped the premise of Life of Pi versus Pi because just for two
Oh,
reasons.
yeah.
One, I wasn't here, so I didn't have the setup for a premise. Look holes with Missy and Blog.
Oh, I
I
like
mean,
that.
I like that one.
That I like.
But I've seen Life of Pi. I didn't really like it. It was fine, but I didn't like it. I've never seen the movie Pi, and also it's not near 3.14 the date, so we're like blowing our load way too
Yeah.
early.
So we
Yeah, I've seen
it-
and read Life of Pi and liked both.
interesting. Oh yeah. So I'm sure you
But
didn't
I
have a
also
chance
don't
to
remember.
watch last week. Whoop.
Did Bogdanov's voice go crazy for anyone else? Phony.
What?
Is that you?
Yeah.
Oh. Are you
I don't-
British?
I didn't
feels
mean
so
to do that, but
good.
I
That's
can.
okay.
I meant to do this and sound
Oh,
more
that's
like a
nice.
phone.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this cannon.
Um.
Darren Aronofsky's Pi versus Life of Pi.
Yeah. So last week, I can't remember how or why, but
No?
we came up with, we were talking about Pi, the movie, and I said Pi versus Life of Pi. I don't even remember how it happened. I just remember saying it, and then it was like, okay, that's what we're doing next
Yeah.
week. And then just today, I was like, I was like, oh, wow, in a month
Like,
from
I
now,
am not
it
as
would
prepared for
be-
this as I thought I was.
Mm-hmm.
in a month from now, it would be Pi Day. It'll make more sense. But this year, it won't exactly be a year because it's a leap year. But other years, it would be exactly,
Oh,
4 weeks.
speaking of last week, we also discovered a couple of. What were they? Baseball cards? Yeah, baseball cards from Things from the Void.
Ooh. Hey!
And that one's me, Phony, playing a game of Pigskin ahead of the big game.
That's incredible.
Because last week's topic was silly football.
Right.
YouTube.
And then here's Holy.
There's Holy.
That's incredible. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Holy shit, with Missy and Blog.
So part of I think I mentioned this in Hunter and the Wisp earlier today, but part of Missy Cannon is that I played football in high school and I was a center on the offensive line, and my joke about it is, and I think this is partly true, is that I was the only player that was comfortable with someone's hand so close to my taint that it just was like not a big deal. And I didn't think about it until afterwards, like being like, wait a minute, they know. And the year my junior year, we had a hot quarterback, so I did not mind.
I didn't realize that was why they got off on the tangent of Hunter talking about never playing football.
No, they were already talking about it, and that's why I brought it up.
Oh, okay.
Was sort of, and something about him playing football and him wanting to play more sports in high school, and then it was just sort of like strung in there. Yeah. So, anyways, more of the week. Because we did a lot of shit, so this to take up some time. We went to a plus size boutique for me, and I just went like shopping. It was fun. Alice got me this wonderful necklace from there that makes me look an art teacher or Miss Frizzle. It's great. Part of this was my outfit, the underdress, and in fact,
Are those
I'm gonna take my headphones off, so I'm not gonna be able to hear you for a second, but I'm gonna do a spin, and it's gonna be wild.
okay?
They asked if I was going for the aesthetic of Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's not the worst. But
Yeah,
yeah,
looks
so I did
great.
that, and then we saw a taping of After Midnight, which I'm
Oh,
really getting
right.
into. I'm basically
It's a
going on
fun
TikTok
show.
and YouTube and liking every one of their fucking vertical videos just to like be like interaction,
Yeah.
content. I want them to keep going.
Did you see that it looks like they're having an episode with teams? of
Yeah,
two?
with couples tonight. I think,
Couples,
because they're
yeah. Oh, you're
Valentine's.
right.
Oh,
Couples.
that's-
Will Miles,
And Laura
former
Lapkus was
Gethard
on last
Show
night.
writer Will Miles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
Thank you very much.
I'm loving After
Um,
Midnight. I feel like it's
I was raised by Miss Frizzle, so I think it's like innate aesthetic within me. Mavis Beacon, the Chief, and Miss Frizzle. My three heroes. So
Nice.
it explains a lot. Okay, so we went and saw After Midnight. I had a throuple of guests that could not be more randomly perfect for me. It was Bianca Del Rio, the winner of Drag Race Season 6, who's very funny. Reggie Watts, like the U.S. Taskmaster, which was like a
Yeah.
connection I didn't make until after the show. Great. And then Wendy, I always forget her hyphenated last name, but she was from Reno 911, and it's also on the Goldbergs, which I haven't
Wendy
seen. but
McClendon Covey.
That's exactly it. Thank you. And so the three of them was just like perfect, and like the show is great. It's a funny recording. It's very efficient. The only thing they cut is a joke here or there, but like it pretty much is live to tape. There wasn't a lot of retakes, which is nice. It was very clean production.
I have
Yeah,
a friend
I,
who says that was true of the original too, and that was always what made going to After Midnight so much more fun than going to other tapings.
Yeah.
But also,
The only annoying
yeah,
thing is we had to show up like I think an hour and a half, maybe it was an hour, but I think an hour and a half before the taping. So we just were like getting in a line, waiting.
yeah.
Yes, they made a lot of jokes about the after Super Bowl slot. It's like the show after after the Super Bowl, after your local programming, after whatever this thing is after, and Stephen Colbert.
and they've been having a lot of former Bay Area comics on recently. Irene 2 was on After Midnight. Anna Saragina on After Midnight.
Their casting
Great.
person's amazing.
Yeah.
I think they've come up with really good formats. Like I really enjoyed the At Midnight, but I feel like After Midnight is really because I was like, how are you going to still do this? It's like, oh, it's really updated it because it's been like what 10 years
Since
At
At Midnight?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is great. They had a bit. I'm not sure which episode it's from yet. I don't think I've gotten to it, or it might have been extra, where there was a person on TikTok who was like, "What they are doing to Taylor Tomlinson is tragic. She agreed to sign on to a talk show, and then they switch this up on her and give her this comedy game show that's not that funny based off something from like the 90s. Like, Taylor Tomlinson deserves better, everyone." And then she's like, "Y'all, I didn't get tricked to it. I knew what I was signing up for. I didn't want to do a talk show. Do you think I want to talk to Daniel Day-Lewis, pitching his Polish shoemaker drama? No, I don't." It was just a very funny bit. But yeah, she was delightful. And it was just fun to do a taping. I'd only ever been to one other TV show taping, which was David Letterman show taping back in it was funny. I went to a David Letterman show taping the week that Conan premiered The Tonight Show. It was just coincidental.
I
think it
do
was
like though that means
2008
both
or
your
9?
both of your tapings are in the Late Show family.
They are. Yes, they are.
Well,
But not Worldwide Pants.
No.
I did go to a Colbert Report taping.
Oh.
Ooh, that would have been fun.
Yeah.
I was too young and conservative to appreciate Colbert when it was airing.
Oh. Colbert. I mean, Colbert Report were the best. I honestly, I say this, and the only thing I'm joking. I honestly feel like the Colbert Report ending resulted in Trump becoming president because he was not there to save us.
And Jon Stewart.
And Jon Stewart.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, we're
Not like his fault. It's
we're
just-
being
yes,
given
but-
the opportunity to test the Jon Stewart one.
Oh yes, the once a week
Yeah,
saving a sinking ship.
yeah, yeah. Trying to keep the Daily Show afloat.
I didn't know how bad it was until I saw an infograph of like the viewership, and like granted, cable has just all gone down because most people are looking at stuff on YouTube and on
Yeah.
literally TikTok and Instagram. That is one thing, but it was like millions to like 30,000. It was like ooh,
Yeah, his
My
return
heart.
is the highest rated show in Comedy Central history.
I feel old.
Yeah, he got out right before Comedy Central went.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's just crazy that After Midnight is after Colbert again, and that they market on
Right?
that. It's like it used to be on after Colbert, and now it's on after Colbert.
And here's the thing is, I'm so happy that they're doing something that's different and it's not talk show.
Yes.
I'm just so glad that they're trying anything. And specifically this format. But any sort of comedy, whatever. Like, if they tried any other panel show, it would have been fun. But this one is very Americanized because it has competition. It has quick comedy, like, Whose Line Style.
I'm also glad
burst.
that she doesn't yell points all the time because
Yeah.
I feel like that's
Oh, is that
Points.
something Chris Hardwick did?
yeah. Oh yeah.
That was one of his
Points,
running
points,
gags.
points. That's
I
I'm glad
think
that- I'm glad that
You know-
didn't come back.
after James Corden perfected the talk show, where else was there to go?
Right.
I remember the brief period between like 2009 and 2012 that not everyone thought he was an unfunny, miserable asshole.
Oh yeah, after the
And I
Lodger.
just like go back to those days, because he's on the Big Fat Quiz of 2012. I'm like, this is the peak. This is where he could have just stayed in this aura and been fine, but no, he had to say no. I want a fucking Tony, so now I need to go star in like all these movies. I need to be in Into the Woods and Cats, and like on your, trying to steal Graham Norton's format but doing it worse.
Well, I will always think of him from the when they stopped traffic.
Oh
He
my
was
god,
great.
yes, and trying to hump the air. Yes.
He was good on Doctor Who.
He was exactly
Spoilers.
like that era. Like he was. There was a
Spoilers.
time James Corden. Like it's weird. Now it's hard to explain. Like there was a time where James Corden wasn't
Yeah.
like toxic, but then all this stuff about him actually being toxic came out, and you're sort of like, oh, I'll let him go. Easy. Go to the Wolves, buddy.
Apparently, Taylor Tomlinson auditioned alongside Ricky Velez and X Mayo
Yes.
to get the hosting gig.
X-Mail would have been really interesting.
X-Mail would have been good.
learned something.
I do too. I mean, I X Mayo was on Chris Gethard Presents for an episode, but I really hope X Mayo can land something else.
I really enjoyed my introduction to her. Which
wow.
Was on the George Lucas
I
talk
didn't
show.
realize that.
And Ego.
Oh,
Wait, what about Ego?
Corden's
Oh,
Ego.
Ego auditioned. Oh.
No. I thought Lena meant Ego audition. It's Corden's.
Oh, Ego's repping Ego.
Ego.
Oh, yes. I'm connecting with you too.
I see.
But Phony, can I say I appreciate that you and I both, when we hear the word Ego, first think of Ego Notum.
Yeah.
Unlike I one of my top not Missy accounts on Reddit top posts is when I posted in the Comedy Bang Bang thing when she got the gig.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, because I remember I posted, I'm like, Ego got the gig for Saturday, and I put in parentheses, day, ? Night Live. And I was really happy for her, but also being like, oh God, SNL can really just sometimes not know how to use people, but she's a fucking star, and I'm so happy for her.
I got a Claire O'Kane bit about why she quit SNL recently that was really fun.
Wait, Ego quit SNL?
No, Claire O'Kane quit SNL.
Wait, the singer?
No, the
Wait,
comedian.
who's Claire
Yeah,
O'Kane?
Claire O'Kane is a comedian who is based in the... this is making me harder to
Are they a
understand.
performer or a writer?
Writer. And
Okay,
was
that's
also
why I
hosted
was
Ghoul
confused, sorry.
Train on SNL.
Okay.
I mean, not hosted Ghoul Train on CGP.
Oh, okay. That helps me more than anything else about SNL. Oh, because we don't see her on SNL. She's a
Because
writer.
yeah, she was a writer.
Because I'm like trying to put a visual on them.
Yeah, my
No,
brain.
no, 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 no.
I was thinking you meant the new gal who's really great, and that's where I was
No.
confused. I'm like, she left. I'm like, phony.
Yeah,
No, 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 no.
she really showed it to them.
Let's see here. So that was. I've only gotten Monday and Thursday evening stuff out of the way for what I've did.
That's
Tuesday we went to Universal Studios and it was downpouring. Like it was cold. But things that I did. Every ride that I wanted to, including Transformers twice. Just like in Podcast The Ride, I was excited when Optimus Prime, like Mike Carlson likes, when he kneels down and he tells me that he's proud of me.
I'm proud of you, Missy.
Now he never says quite the words "I'm proud of you," but here's the thing: is spiritually he did. He leaned in and looked at me in the eyes and said, "I'm proud of you, Missy."
wow.
Twice. I wrote it twice. It's great. Best ride in the park. Then I did the Mummy ride. We did the new Mario Land ride with the Mario Kart. We did that one twice. It's a VR headset. It's interesting, like an old aunt getting technology. I rode it the first time and I was just like riding it and it was fun. And there's a game where you have to shoot shells and I'm just like trying to hit stuff. I'm like, God, this accuracy is weird. It's hard. Okay, I don't get this game, but I'm like, I need to pay attention to the ride part. I'm focusing on the game. I'm not looking at the fact that I'm on a ride. It's great. So I'm like, let's do it again after lunch. We ate at the Toadstool Cafe. I had the Luigi Pesto Burger, which was legit great. And Alice got the Bowser Fireball and something, I can't remember what else she got. And we like kind of split the Fireball and it was just spicy enough. It was good. I was like, good. This is good theme park food. Anyways, second time I realized in the VR game, halfway through it, it shoots the shells where you're actually looking. So I had to be turning my head and pointing and being like, bam, 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 bam. I'm like, oh, a kid would have gotten this right away. But I'm like, I'm just used to like a WASD and a mouse to do any of this bullshit.
Have you seen anything about the new restaurant that'll be opening there soon? The Power Up Cafe?
At the California one specifically?
Yeah, at Hollywood. You can try power-ups. It's like the
Oh
Super
my
Mushroom
God.
Calzone.
Well, maybe I'll have to go back next time we're there. I mean, it
For
depends
some
on if
reason,
Alex
I feel
wants to
like-
come with us.
I look. There's gonna be trivia questions about
Mhm.
menu
Oh,
items.
probably, given the history of the show. But, there's also something else we got from Things from the Void.
We need to come up with a canon nickname for my husband, by the way. We'll just throw that out there.
Nice. I was hoping that this would happen. I mean, put that on a shirt.
This is true. Truths.
So, what kind of thing do you think would be a good canon nickname?
I'm trying to. Let me see if Alex has an idea. Give me 1 second here.
Okay.
You talk amongst yourself. If you have any good Universal, I'll finish. Actually, let me finish my Universal.
Oh, yeah,
Studios
let's finish
thoughts,
Universal.
and then do that.
How was
From all
City
of us.
Walk?
City Walk was not how I thought it was going to be, in the sense of it is brighter and gaudier than I thought it could be. It's incredible. It's multi-layered. Here's the thing about Universal Studios I did not know, and Universal City in general. It's on a fucking hill.
Yeah.
It's on a giant hill.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to take from the top of Universal Studios to the upper area to the lower lot, 4 different escalators. And it's amazing. And they're long escalators. And so when you're driving up, there's a giant Stewart Minion. And we passed that way to get a lot of the comedy venues and stuff. So every time we passed it, we had to hail Stewart and wave at him.
Oh, I absolutely have. I've
So-
heard people doing that every time we drove by.
So I'll just list the stuff out. We did the Universal tour. That was really cool. I liked the old kitschy stuff about like, these are the old studio lots and stuff. But then
Did you get to
also
see the Bates Motel?
No, because I
Oh.
think that area was closed for actual filming.
Oh, man.
But I believe I'm like, I think that house is the Bates house over there, but it was fine. Because we did the Kong 3D experience, which is like a simulator thing, and it was wild. And there was a Jurassic Park one as well. Wow,
Jurassic
my
World?
brain is really getting fuzzy with the memories already.
There's Jurassic Parking.
That's true. That's where we were. And then so we did that. I did the Minions ride. I did the Simpsons ride. We did not go to Harry Potter Land because fuck J.K. Rowling and the transphobia. We just were like, nah, out of principle.
Yeah.
Plus this one ride, and I'm like, whatever. But the Hogwarts part is weird because you're just like, it's Hogwarts, and then it's surrounded by like the Minion Funland and like Simpsons Land, and you're like, this is not Disneyland crafting level of
No.
spacing things out and blending of things. We'll get to Disneyland soon. So yeah, it was fun part. It's just there is not a whole bunch going on there, but with the rain, there was not a lot of people there, so we got on, got off, and did our fucking thing, and then went home and got dry by the evening. It was nice.
The last and probably only time I've been to Universal Studios in LA would have been the Back to the Future ride was still there.
Oh my god, I wish it had been that.
Yeah.
And the T2 ride.
Oh yeah. I remember for the tour it was for an upcoming Mummy movie was like the big like
The Tom Cruise movie?
no, it wasn't the Tom Cruise
The
one.
original
I'm
one,
trying to
right?
think. It would have
Yeah.
been
The
it would have been
Brendan Fraser?
23 years ago. So
Mummy Returns?
must have been Mummy Returns because
Or
or
the-
Scorpion King?
Jade, yeah, that one.
could have been. I have been weird with the Scorpion King.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited for Epic Park because Alex, nickname pending, loves How to Train Your Dragon. So he's going to love the land of whatever the fuck the name of the place is in How to Train Your Dragon. And I will ask him,
The Isle of Berk?
What would I love?
oh, hey, come here. Come here. We need some canon for you. We're building some canon of our show today. We're doing a little bit of rebranding, a little bit of thinking, a little bit of all this kind of stuff. Because I do casting, and I don't know, I don't necessarily want to throw your name out there all the time. What would be a good canon nickname for you? Missy and blank.
Rat boy.
Voicey says Rat Boy.
Rat Boy is what Voicey says.
No,
No,
I thought of Flonk, but no.
it's not a Plonk. Plonk is the name that Alex used for his D&D character, which was a forest gnome hermit.
And I used it in a couple D&D campaigns, and I used it in one that I only got to do like one session with the people, and they absolutely hated my name. So the moment I wasn't there, they killed off my character.
Oh jeez.
Fuck Flonk.
Where was this?
This was a recluse costume.
Oh, the recluse? Fuck them.
Oh no, it was funny. I
Okay.
love the bit. It was a great bit. They're like, we hate
But
you.
anyways, what would be a good, fun nickname? I just want I want consent in your name. You can marinate on it if you want.
Yeah, you don't have to have an answer to that.
It has to come organically.
It has to come organically.
I mean, I could go with my art moniker, but that's
No, Rat Tunnel that's too professional. That's a brand. That's not your name. That's not a shorthand I can just throw
I
out.
mean,
to you.
people call me that. Why is this not going flat?
Yeah, but anyways, okay. So here's the question:
Sure.
if we go, or would you go to a theme park, that had an entire land within it that was based on How to Train Your Dragon? Because there is one being built, so this is not a theoretical.
If
It
there's
is a
I mean,
radical.
I would
Weird.
go- Yeah.
The things from the void says, "Hi, Alex."
Hello.
But it is being built in Florida.
It's being built in Florida, yeah. So like, fuck that. If the Democrats win, like,
I thought there was a
ownership or things, they
Vegas
claw
one,
back on their
too.
trans bullshit, then I might go there.
Oh, the Vegas one's Horror Nights. It's a whole Horror
So
Nights
it's like
thing.
it's official How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, no, it's the land of Gondor or whatever. It's
Berk.
called. It's not
I'd rather
Gondor.
just go to an actual Nordic country that has that kind of architecture.
I mean, we've been to Iceland, so we
But
kind of
those-
have been there. It looked like.
But that
Skyrim.
won't
It was
have
fucking
Hiccups
great.
wing
Like
gliders.
Norway, that would be fun. I love
Or-
I love me a good mountain. I was talking with some customer.
Get on camera if you're gonna talk.
I was
Then you
talking
would
with
buy
a
the bike.
customer at work today, and we were talking about like the difference between like Iowa landscape and Colorado landscape, and I was just like, Iowa doesn't have that bad of a vibe. It kind of has a little bit of a shire look at the like when you get out of the city, kind of rolling hills with like little tree forested areas, very cute. But I love me a fucking mountain. I love me a goddamn mountain.
You gotta
And
love a
mountains don't
mountain.
start until
Gotta
like
love a mountain.
you get to the edge of Nebraska into Colorado.
Yeah.
I forget that.
You get,
Not
like,
everywhere
some
has them.
Shale and some like different stratigraphy layers.
Yeah.
think stratigraphy is the word. The different layers of sediment or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll think about a nickname for you.
Yeah.
Love
well,
you. Thank you for a pop in.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yes, I am kind of excited for Epic Land because also the old Monster Horror plate sounds cool. What else is there in it? I don't remember.
Well, I mean,
I know there's a
the-
Harry Potter part, which is like, meh.
but it's apparently like more Ministry of Magic themed,
Yeah.
which I don't quite get.
Well, because they're just trying to make different locations for every park, so they started to pick a location that hasn't been done yet.
Yeah, but that's like bureaucracy land.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I guess
awesome.
what else is there? It's like that or Nazi wizard land. Like there's not that many locations.
I wonder if they'll ever make a Quidditch match place.
Yeah, it is actually. You're right. It's both. It ultimately is also magic fascism land. Like, I'm surprised they didn't do Magical Beast. I'm surprised they didn't do the like what is it the Eastern European one where like Victor Crumb is from.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. But we
Durmstrang
don't
or-
ever see that, so I think they're
But
trying to
that's
do visuals from the film,
That's
so they can
true.
get the actors back into it or whatever.
Ooh, that would be cool if you walk in the briefcase.
I'm going to
get in.
go dark real quick because I need to refill my water, which is why I was going to walk
Hi,
away from
well,
the first
howdy,
place,
partner.
So you're back.
I mean, I wish. I'm curious if Disney's gonna ever try to tie in Doctor Who while they are helping fund it.
Speaking of Doctor Who, here's a Who update for everyone. So I'm on to the second season with the Fifth Doctor
Mr. Celery.
with Celery, which I now notice, but I don't think I would have ever connected that was Celery. I just assumed it was just part of the outfit. I didn't think anything about it. It's not been mentioned, at least not yet. Or at least if it was, I was not paying attention. Been watching a lot of Doctor Who, but it just looks like, I don't know. It just looks normal. It just looks as normal as the rest of his outfit. But so in the serial we just watched, Alfred is a Time Lord. That's all I have to say about that.
What?
The actor who plays Alfred in the Batman movies.
Michael Caine.
No, the Tim Burton one, the Tim Burton
Oh,
ones, and
okay.
the ones that continued afterwards.
And like Batman and Robin and Batman
Yes.
Forever.
Yeah,
Michael Goff.
Barbara's uncle from Batman and Robin.
Bewitched? Oh. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I forget that Alfred was Batgirl's uncle.
Yeah, that's the story according to that movie.
Schumacher.
And I'm pretty sure people. Oh yeah, there he is.
TV is
Honestly,
watching
the
this
way
'cause
Alfred's
on
dressed
Netflix
is
it
Time
said-
Lordy too.
On Netflix,
Yeah.
it asked Alex if he wants to watch How to Train Your Dragon.
I've not watched any of those movies, so
Me neither.
I completely spaced out when people started talking about it.
First one's pretty good.
Okay.
But does it answer the question? Or like does it tell me how to train my dragon?
The answer is however you want and however it works, because that's why there's several sequels.
I mean, this
That
is
makes
true.
sense. It is the year of the dragon. That's true.
Yes, it is also David Tennant's father-in-law.
Yeah.
So far, my opinion of the current area of Who is the beginning and end of seasons are pretty good.
That makes sense. I mean,
Yep.
that would be very funny things from the void of a Mad Libs on the Hershey Park script thing where you just pop in the nouns and it makes the copy pasta.
Oh yeah, just someone could make an R-less me, but it's Hershey Parked me.
Yeah.
What one of his companion. I guess I'll try to prevent spoilers, but this whole thing is a spoiler. One of his companions blows up.
They fucking crash into a planet.
What? And
It's
then
like a reverse Chewbacca instead of a planet crashing into him.
and then the end credits are silent,
Oh, I
acknowledging
think I've heard about this.
acknowledging that he is just dead. And then I was like, oh, for sure, this is a mislead, and everything's gonna be fine. But
Nope. Nope, they died.
no, it just
No
blew
more.
up. Blew up. Isn't it sad? Blew up.
I will say this. I can't remember if I've ever made this comment before. It's slightly off color, but I'm saying it, so it's fine. My dad's the one who said it. But when I was talking about Doctor Who once, my dad once said, "Is that one with that kind of gay robot?" And I was like, I don't know. And now, since ever then, I'm trying to figure out what British show had a fucking gay robot in it. Did he mean
Red
Crichton
Dwarf?
from Red Dwarf? That might be it.
Red Dwarf fits the bill best, I
That's
think.
probably Red Dwarf. Or Star Wars.
Yeah.
No, my dad knew Star Wars. He had the special edition. No, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy doesn't have a gay robot. Although, also, canonically,
Well,
that is the film that made my dad say, you should never take a film recommendation from your junior high son because he will recommend the wrong thing. Because he went to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie and did not get it. Like, at all. He didn't understand what the guide entries were. He kept being like, they kept cutting to the weird cartoons. We're like, you mean the guide entries? He's like, is that what they were? We're like, how did you not understand what they were?
I mean, the
Like,
movie wasn't.
it's not that hard.
No.
But yeah, he just was baffled and thought it was so stupid. But he thought it was so bad it made me laugh because I loved it so much. The only other time that they've done that before is they once said that they saw Cloud Atlas, my dad and my mom, and they're like, oh my god, we hated it. You'll love it. And I watched it, and it's one of my top films ever. I do love it.
Also, someone make this a shirt.
On blank blank black becomes blank who blank. The blank blanks to blank the blank from which of these blank? That's a match game question if I ever saw one. All right, here's the question, celebrities. You need 6 to match. Dumb Dora said,
How dumb is she?
she's so dumb, she said, on blank blanks black becomes blank who blank the blank blanks blank to blank the blank from which of these blank? Bum 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 bum. Yes, I watched so much Match Game growing up,
Match Game was
everyone.
the best.
It's a wonder I don't make off-color jokes
Match
about
Game
like casual racism
is-
and homophobia the entire time.
top
Jesus.
top tier game show.
I love Match Game Show. It is so outdated though. Like, my god.
Yeah.
One of the most cringe moments I've ever seen was when they had Pat Moria on and they started doing basically Asia voice in front of him. But then
Oh,
he just
God.
does it himself as the bit. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
god.
I've seen that clip.
I was like, what is happening?
Or I've seen other clips of him embracing that.
Well, I noticed he had a character, I'm not going to say the name of it, but he had a character that was that. Like, it was making fun of that thing. But I'm like, but other white celebrities, don't you do it? Jesus.
I'm not surprised that someone who watched the Paul Lind holiday special also watched a lot of Match
Right.
Game.
Yeah, of course.
Phony,
I mean, Paul Lynn, of course, being
good read.
Good read.
Yeah.
Possibly
I mean,
the best
I've heard Petticoat Junction, so I've obviously seen some old TV.
I've not, see, Beverly Hillbillies, yes. Petticoat Junction, no.
I probably showed this before, but I'm going to find a clip for us to watch.
That's my boomer dad does have podcast links. I have a lot of stories about my boomer dad.
Oh, it was a lot of TV land for me.
My sister has been on TikTok too much because she tries to diagnose everyone in my family with autism. But I did think about it, and I'm like, actually, my dad. There's a good chance he does, and it was one of those Kaiser Soze moments where I was realizing stuff. I'm like, it would make a lot of things in my life and me getting raised to make so much more sense if that could be true. But yeah, no, I have great boomer dad stories. Did anyone else's boomer dad love John Wayne, and you didn't know until older life that he was a bit of a racist cunt? You know, especially because you grew up in the state that claims him, even though he got out of that state as fast as the fuck he could. Just me? Just me?
I mean, half of that, but
Half of
not the
that,
John
yeah.
Wayne half.
The John, of course.
The
I
other
have flown
half
into
was
the
more
John
what
Wayne
I
airport
discovered.
before. They
My
call me
dad
a
never liked John Wayne. He was on the like, oh, Cowboys. Ugh, nope, not for me.
Cool. My dad loved Cowboys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, right. Back when TV Land was sitcoms from the 50s and 80s, and now not stuff like George Lopez.
Makes me
Which, to
depressed
be
when,
clear,
like,
is about as far from now as those 50s and as the 60s sitcoms were from the 90s.
I know, it's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
All right.
remember watching Welcome Back, Kotter.
John Wayne
Welcome
Gacy, also
back.
from Iowa. And that is, thank you, well, howdy, partner. I didn't realize that you were Michelle Bachman. She also did that. And I don't know if that's the specific reference you're making, but it's beautiful.
Oh, Michelle Bachman.
She went to, like, I think it's Dubuque or Davenport. I think it's Dubuque. She's like, here we are at the home of John Wayne. It's like, no, the home of John Wayne Gacy,
Ooh,
not
big
John
difference.
Wayne.
Yeah,
Big
they're probably a
difference.
little less excited to celebrate one of them.
I don't know. Michelle Bachman, I don't know.
Well, not her. I meant the city. Her, yeah.
No, she might celebrate John Wayne Gacy
She might.
for real.
She might.
So I have a very important video to show everyone.
Okay.
Did you watch The Shootist? The best named John Wayne movie?
I probably have been. Oh, this is a great yes.
Oh, yeah. I just like the name The Shootist.
Now, Ginger, $2,500.
After this
is
one,
the
look
least
up
you
Match
can
Game
play for.
Boobs.
However, you could be playing for $5,000 if you get a lucky spin of the Star Wheel. We wish you the best of luck, and let's have a go at it now. We'll all root for a double
My
now.
grandma-in-law
As you give it a tug right there and make it go
exclusively
once,
watches Me
at
TV.
least once around.
Match
And
is
here we go.
always on. It's so fucking funny. MeTV might as well be called Greatest Generation Daycare.
It's
Yep.
after his wheel is
Yep.
stopped. It is futile to shout double, you see.
Is that too mean
The
of a
wheel is
joke?
already
It doesn't
double
feel like
from
it. It's just
here.
That
true.
does not a double. That's
gotta
called
tell me
parallax.
I like what he said. He said
That's
"Well,
called
as long as it doesn't
parallax.
land
That's
on
called
me."
parallax.
And
The
now-
yellow cloud
One of my
that
heroes
fights
right
the
there.
Green
Gene
Lantern.
She'll give a verbal.
One of my heroes,
Um,
Brett
And
Summers.
here we go.
Can we call the
Good
show
luck
that-
to you
that's
for
called Parallax?
$2,500.
Now that's what I call
Wait.
parallax.
So that's what I call parallax.
I love you, but I'm stopping this bit before it gets any legs. No.
Okay. All right, he's finished. Now, if you give us the answer,
Why
that he's
does
got
the
in
set
card,
look like
we
the
give you
Confederate
$2,500.
flag?
What do you say to that?
Oh, fuck
Cuckoo
you.
friend
Don't make me
Ollie.
think that, you fucking bitch. It's just a cross.
Oh, it doesn't actually. It was just the red team that it did. It doesn't at all.
And we missed the funny part because we were talking over it.
I rescind my
Sorry, no
observation.
one listened. Here we go.
Okay.
Rewind.
All right, he's finished. Now, if you give us the answer that he's got on the card, we give you $2,500. What do you say to that? Blank.
Oh, let's. Okay, we
And
figured
here
it
we
out.
go.
Sorry.
Okay.
Good luck to you for $2,500. Cuckoo blank.
Cuckoo blank.
Okay. All right, he's finished. Now, if you give us the answer that he's got on the card, we give you $2,500. What do you say to that?
Cuckoo friend and Ollie.
Wow! Wow! I mean, I get it.
Now, wait a minute. In the first place, it's not Cuckoo, Fran, and Ollie. It's Kukla, Sam, and Irving. No, now listen, I know you weren't around when that was a big popular show on television. We had Kukla and Ollie on this show recently. It's Kukla, Fran, and Ollie.
Maybe she misunderstood. Maybe she misheard it.
No, I let her read the word.
I let her read the words. Famous husband.
Robert Walden, by any chance, says. Now wait a minute. Now wait, he could say it.
You can
It's
say it.
possible he's got that on that card. Cuckoo Fran and Ollie.
If I do,
Can
I come back again?
Yes.
I tried to get him to change his not to say Kukla Fran. You didn't pay any attention.
Cuckoo Fran and Ollie.
I said accordion. No, I didn't. I said
Cuckoo Clock.
I mean, that makes sense.
Okay. Well, listen, you were a little nervous, so you says Cuckoo Fran and Ollie. And I'll never forget it as long as I live. Holy mackerel. Well, let's go to a commercial now, and we'll give her a drink of water.
Right.
Carry
I
on.
have my classic clip that I'm pulling from obscurity for Match Game. It's a racy answer.
Oh,
And hilarity
gonna-
ensues.
All right, we're set to carry on now with round two. Valerie,
they talk
which
about
one do you
making
want, A or
whoopee?
B?
B again.
B.
We'll see.
She didn't match anyone in the first round, so that means everybody plays in the second round. The big bad wolf said, I just came from a house where this old lady had the biggest blank I ever saw.
Hey,
I read it wrong. I read it wrong. Hold everything. I read it wrong.
you could have fooled us.
No,
You read it brilliantly.
there was an S on the blank.
Say it again.
I said biggest blank, and this old lady had the biggest blanks I ever saw. I said blank at first.
The big bad wolf said that?
Yes. Big Bad Wolf said I just came from a house where this old lady had the biggest blanks I ever saw. Hello, darling.
I don't know how I feel
Would you
about the
write
fact that I
something
can
on the
recognize
enjoying
Steve
the
Allen
fun?
on site.
Hey, Steve Allen's featured on the
Oh, you
Tonight
did?
Show Riding
You
Strong.
did it already. Good for you.
This one came to me.
Just like that.
Right.
You're familiar with the Big Bad
We are on
Wolf?
that weird cusp where we had just enough not that we
right.
had to
You might want to turn the video down just a little bit more.
Okay. All right. Come on, Charles.
Okay. Better.
We're from the era where we had to indulge so much boomer shit
Stop
because there
the
was still
music.
the pipeline
Valerie,
for how
the
much
Big Bad
content
Wolf
there
said I
was.
just came from a
still
house where this
narrow
old lady had
True.
the biggest blanks I ever saw.
Boobs.
I mean, what else are you gonna say?
Flag offer a fried green tomato.
God, what a fun show.
Famous lesbian who has never actually come out as a
Well
lesbian.
played, Get back here. Get back up there. Listen.
You got the biggest ones in the room. I resemble that remark. That's true.
There's nothing wrong with Mother Nature.
It's not nice to fool.
I was gonna say they should bring Match Game back, but they have, and it's horrible.
Well, it was hosted by Alec Baldwin, so I was just like, no.
Oh my god.
And here's the problem is,
I just came from a house where this old
Match
lady
Game
had the
worked because
biggest
of the
blanks I
edge
ever
they were able
saw.
to
To
play
get
around.
back
Now
to the
people can
question,
just
what
say
did you
them.
say, Steve?
I keep
So it's a
trying
little-
to convert this whole unsavory
John
scene here
Hunter's
to
a
something
little
more
bit hard.
savory. So, old grandmother was in bed when the big bed. Well, I'd say the biggest pillows.
Yeah, there is. I've known you too many years, Steve. No, it's a rotten answer there. What do you say, Brett?
I think Steve Allen is a sneak. That's what I say. But I tell you, I've never been so shocked, appalled, and outraged by an answer in my entire life.
I'll bet.
I said, bazooms.
By the Match Game for any sort of
Yeah. Charles,
trials.
would you restore a little
I
sanity?
have a
do
children's
trials
program, and I
something
could
right
not
now.
use a word
And
like
I might do a switch.
either of these girls you.
Yeah.
Because I'm an actor from the legitimate theater, so I chose busts.
My mom, I had to tell her Charles Wilson Riley was gay. And I don't know in what
Speaking of
universe she was
bazooms,
living.
Fanny, would you show us yours?
As I said earlier, for sure.
tell Fanny want me about it.
Oh, it's okay.
I'll
That's
write
enough.
you next week, Mother, and tell you all that.
Fried green tomatoes, which
show them.
spoiler,
I
alert,
said
I learned
berries.
from I haven't seen involves the theoretical eating of a dead body.
Berries, would you believe that? That's what it says there. Yeah.
What'd she say?
Well, I have a comment, but I think I better skip on and just go on to Richard Dawson's answer here.
Well, I do hope that the producer and the director and you will remember I was the only one who didn't walk out.
You'll do anything for your own show.
Should there be any extra close-ups over?
Yeah.
Also, I couldn't walk out because I wrote bazooms.
All right, what about it there,
I'll tell you
Molly?
the truth. I'm embarrassed to show mine because I said feet. Because I don't think that feet sound right.
What it is.
So at this moment.
Yeah, one of my other inspirations you might remember from Match Game is Patty Deutsch, the very like wordplay contestant who had like red hair. I loved her. She was great.
But yeah, that shirt reminding of the shirt I'm wearing. Because also we haven't talked about it at all, but happy Valentine's Day. Of
Yeah,
course,
happy Valentine's Day.
We picked our
That's
pie
big.
themed show for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we'll do a Valentine's show on Pi Day.
Yeah, there you go. So get ready for next month where we do Valentine's. But of course, this shirt I had hoped for my wedding to be able to wear, the orange tuxedo from Dumb and Dumber, which was denied. So instead, I got this T-shirt of it.
Did you wear it at the after party?
We wore it. We actually wore it at the rehearsal dinner.
Beautiful.
And so Val had the blue one, so that we would match. Okay, more. Let's prepare for a game. Oh, I was about to just randomly talk about more. Who? Oh, there we go. Yeah. And I would have been willing to wear the blue one instead, but that was also denied. So
You get away with what you can in life.
it's fine because instead I wore a red velvet jacket.
Oh, nice.
Tuxedo,
mean,
yeah. Which
I'm
was
very
actually
lucky.
mostly inspired by Murph. Because I saw
Oh, by the
Murph wear-
Reservoir Dog?
Yeah, the Reservoir Dog Murph was wearing something like that, and I was like, wow, that's what I want to go for.
Oh, I know where Murph's wearing that. He's wearing that in the best headshot of all time.
Oh,
Oh, I don't know if he's wearing it in that shot. He might be,
Isn't he?
though.
Or maybe it was just on the Gethard show. No, it's more of a brown.
oh,
Yes. No. He on Gethard show he had a more more red velvety one that he would wear on the show.
But that's not it either. But yeah, he had a
That's
red
not it
velvet
either,
suit
no.
for sure.
Speaking of getting away with things, I'm very lucky that my husband has let me get away with having some souvenirs for my trip back.
Oh, of course.
Oh, right.
I have my own Porg.
Nice. Did it make a sound at first, or was that unrelated? I could have sworn I heard it at first go make a sound.
It makes sounds.
It does make sounds. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are all
Great.
it.
Love it.
Yeah. And then it goes, of course, the only motion that you need for it. I love it. It had its own little cage that it came with. And Alex is like, are you going to throw that box away? I was like, yeah. Like, it's a box. You don't need it. I'm like, I know, but it's a
It's
unique
too bad.
box.
But
It's
the
too bad
world
things
building of the
happen-
box.
Mm-hmm.
It's too bad things happen in
story.
the opposite direction because it would have been great to have that box signed by
Wada?
George or in Wada.
Okay, I will spill the minors of tea. I did wait afterwards to talk to George, we'll just say,
Yeah.
after George Prov. But I could tell after he was talking to the people that he was talking with for a little while, that is making the Borg one last noise. It always goes
Nice.
before it goes off. I could tell he just wanted to slip the fuck out of there, so I
Yeah.
was just
Yeah, I would imagine.
walked
Yeah.
away before talking to him.
So there was no opportunity, of course, to speak. So I really had an all-star or a Fantastic Four, if you will, group for Rat Scraps, because it was Connor, Spo, Sebastian, and then Ryan Haney, right? That's his last name. But yeah, excellent, excellent group. But I still can't believe that Connor was there. Oh, and they also did workshops earlier in the day, which I was like, I should have done that. And then I was like, wait, I don't do improv at all. I would not benefit from it. I just want to talk to those people, or hear those people talk. But I was hoping that people would notice. It's way over there. I was wearing my Patrick Cotnoir hat, so I figured that was the most Rat Scraps related merch that I have. Cedric.
I mean, I'll say you think they might notice those things, but also, this is just a minor side. I had Bumble Lion with me, like, on my lap during the first show, just being like, oh, I don't want to be intrusive about it, but I'll have it here, being like, oh, you don't be able to see it, and be like, oh, Bumble Lion. And then no one said a thing. They never actually looked at it, and it felt like a weirdo, like, midway through, being like, I just look like a weirdo that has a doll with me. Like, if people don't know the bit, and I'm like, oh, I feel silly. But then afterwards, I'm like, no, I shouldn't. It was whatever. Like, I was there with the opportunity as itself. It's part of canon, and I shouldn't feel embarrassed. But it was just like, it was that weird moment of just being like, am I being too weird right now? But
I don't think
the show was
I don't
like,
think it's possible
whatever.
to be too weird at a George Lucas talk show.
Intern Forrest went to the Chris Gethard show with Robbie Hoffman, fully dressed as Vacation Jason. And no one else was in costume at all.
I got very surprised with this picture because I was like, that was at the that's Rat Scraps. And I was like, oh, wait, this is unrelated to what you were talking about. This is just the picture of them.
Yeah, this is just the Rat Scraps people who were there.
Yeah, there they are. All-star team.
Beautiful.
Fantastic Four.
I think we need to get a match game going for missed.
We definitely need to do a match game. We definitely need what, at least six contestants?
Yeah.
Six contestants and a host. I don't know if Pony wants to be
a host, right?
If Pony wants to be a contestant.
That'd be awesome.
And a couple of contestants potentially.
Right.
I think Ahumne Maddie would be an amazing either contestant or celeb.
Ooh, RFM Squares would also be fun.
Oh my God,
Oh,
yes. We just do a
yeah.
certain game show. Do you know, this is what I want to do. Okay, I didn't want to make this, again, to be like Missy does stuff that she just wants to do. I've always just wanted to do fucking game shows all the time. So, like, I just wouldn't mind if the show also
This is a
became
game show
just
channel
game shows
now.
every once in a while.
This
As
is
long as
game
other people
show
help.
show.
Yeah. My thing is that I don't have the, like, inertia to get it all done myself. I
Well-
have, like, the idea as I start going, and then I'm like, is this dumb and no one's going to
Well,
like it?
There was that one time we played Wheel of Fortune.
Right.
That is true. That was very fun for the reasons it shouldn't have been.
And Radio Free
I can load it up
Multiverse.
again really quick.
Radio Free Multiverse did Jeopardy Earth, too.
Oh, I remember here. Was I there for that?
Joel Pissman, a cum farmer from Planet Fuck, who looks a lot like Clancy Kramer, won.
Amazing.
I think branding it as a variety show, so it can be more low-key, researchy eps from produced segments like game shows. Yeah, I agree. I think
That's
keeping
true.
variety is a good way to do it. Because then
always wanted
if
to
you
be a
want
variety
to play a
show
game,
host,
you
so
can play a
again.
game. If you want to do a game
Y'all
show, you
are
can do a
just
game
like
show.
baiting me into hosting this show long term. Just saying.
I immediately trying to think. I usually can come up with a pun pretty quickly, but I can't think of anything with variety in any of our names.
Spill the
Variety.
Spill the variety. I'm so stupid.
The missed calls.
Phone Riety. Ooh. Now I'm forgetting where we
Former
started.
Random's Comedy Hour.
The Missed Calls Family Smile Time Variety Hour.
The Mug Root Beer Former Randoms. Show.
Yeah, the 2-hour Variety Hour.
Got any games on that phone? Great. Oh my God, that'd be a great needle drop.
Oh yeah, you got to get the long skinny mic.
I at one point had a prop one of those, and I don't know where the fuck it went. I'll find it again at some point, or else make another one. I need also get a wheel for myself. Kadoosh.
Peel Apocalypse says my boomer dad told me I wasn't funny, so I made a variety hour.
That's great. I am sure if my parents watched this show, they would be slightly baffled by my humor, but they would also understand, like, oh, it's very, very Missy.
So last Friday, right, I was visiting my mom, and it was when the San Francisco show was airing on YouTube. So I was like, "We're watching this," and actually, it's just previously, I don't think she remembers it well, but I was there when the Colin Hanks episode was on. So
Oh, okay, yeah.
she had seen some of that one, which is funny because that one is like I started watching that there, and then I drove home, and then donated money to get an award. It's like I started the show here and I ended up here. But anyway, I but that one I realized it didn't have Watto. So she right away she said, "Who is he dressed as?" And I showed up a picture of Watto, and she said, "He looks cool." But she
Watto
enjoyed it.
does look cool.
He looks cool. He's wrong. She's not wrong. But she laughed a lot. I feel like just random things made her laugh about it, but she definitely enjoyed it. And then I showed her a bunch of different clips, including the pastrami. Because she saw the word pastrami and she asked to watch it. And
the pastrami
yes.
is iconic.
It was. It really, really was. And that was before I really was watching it. So it was the only moment I missed watching live. But then I came across the Philly show, and I was like, oh, and actually, that was what they made in Philly. So yeah, we were at that show, and she was like, so I might see you, and I was like, if you see it, you will definitely see me. And then so she asked to see it.
I had to, not had to, but when I was explaining to my parents, so it was this conversation. One, so how do you know Alice, your podcast partner? How do
Got
you
it right, of course. That's a good
so
question.
Then I had to explain the George Lucas talk show, and also explain that is why I'm going. So like double, here's two things at once. And so I did show them a photo of Watto. Because they understood someone playing George Lucas. That's conceptually understandable.
Yes.
Having them play a CGI character from the other part, and just being, and Alex, he's seen enough clips or something, because he was trying to explain it to me. He's like, yeah, he's like this in like a Blue Owl kind of outfit, and he has like an elephant nose on. I'm like, yeah, no, that's accurate. It's pretty much that.
Yep. When I dressed up as Watto for Halloween, there was at least one person who recognized me as Watto, having no context of George Lucas talk show. So it shows that it's enough to get the point across for those who really know Star Wars.
I mean, it's a classic design.
Yeah. Although he at first he said, "I know who you are. You're Max Rebo." And I was like, you know what? That's a really good guess.
I see it because the trunk and everything.
Trunk,
yeah.
You know.
Speaking of Star Wars, I have two more things from Star Wars Land.
Ooh.
One, little cute
Aww.
York. He's adorable.
Nice.
The second is up in my room, so I'm going to take another quick little. I go into big zoom while I go for a break real quick.
So
I'll be right back with the other.
Yeah. Watto signed Intern Forest Chance Cubes.
What are chance cubes?
What are chance cubes? The dye, the blue and red dye.
Got it. Oh, I see. I see.
That he used to lose the freedom of one Anakin Skywalker, a local boy. Yeah, these little chance cubes.
Oh wow.
The chance cubes that have a 50% chance of hitting because it's all half blue, half red.
I don't know if this is true for other people, because I've only been to one George Lucas talk show in person. But afterwards, I got to meet Watto, and I was like, "Oh my god, why does Watto sound so sad?" And then I just realized it's because it's not Watto's voice anymore.
Was he still? Did Watto still look like himself?
He still looked like himself,
Okay.
but he didn't sound like himself.
That's a rarity because Watto often looks like a character actor Griffin Newman after the
Interesting.
shows.
After the show, okay, so no, he was in still full
Yeah.
Watto gear, and I remember being like Watto sounds so sad, but then he said that when I pointed out that got communicated on social media, and Watto responded saying Watto was really tired. Understandable.
Yeah, I've only Griffin Newman seems to really like the George Lucas talk show. It's weird. George is usually George. George
George
is
is
there.
George.
And
I can
Patrick
understand-
is still dressed like Patrick.
Yeah, and I guess that kind of shows. I think it's mostly because the Philly venue is so much smaller. I
Mhm.
imagine that they have nowhere else to go between the show ending and any sort of signing of stuff.
While we were in line after the SF show, the person in front of us went in and their conversation turned to, "Oh, who's your favorite person on the show?"
Oh wow!
And they said Patrick.
Nice.
And Griffin said that was the wrong answer. And I was recounting that for the person who was like chatting with us as we were going up to buy stuff. And she said, "Oh, Patrick's my favorite too."
Wow.
And turns out Patrick posted her as his Valentine today.
There you go. It's rigged. I also remember at the end of the Philly show, I'm trying to remember which shirt it was, but someone was wearing. I want to. Timeline wise, I can't even pinpoint it, but
Was
Patrick-
it a shirt?
It was a shirt. I want to say it was a Watto Cup shirt, but at the same time, I feel like that shirt couldn't have been available yet. But maybe it was.
I'm a member of the Rebel Alliance.
Nice.
And
Nice.
hate her.
Wow. But anyway, Patrick went over to
sorry.
Watto.
Beautiful City messaged me and said that he hard launched his girlfriend this afternoon on IG story.
They both
and I
hard
didn't know
launched.
if she was being serious or not. And I was like, wow, I don't like the fact that we're contenting his girlfriend.
We're not. I was just telling a story. But when I met her, I didn't realize I was meeting her.
No, it was just funny. No, I'm about the Instagram thing.
Oh, yeah.
No, you
Oh,
talking
so
about
yeah, so-
someone you met is your experience. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it just made it sound like his girlfriend's debut was on Instagram. I'm like, wait a minute, are we doing that?
Oh, yeah. There was also the person in line who thought everyone on the show was a character. So they were like, yeah, I thought that person who was playing Adam Savage was really good.
Yeah, that's
Oh my
interesting.
god.
The person he was with was like, I really love Jess McKenna. And they're like, well, do you love Jess McKenna or do you love the person who was on stage? And she was like, what?
That was just McKenna.
Yeah.
I really like the person they got to play Patrick. He's very Patrick-like.
Oh, he really nailed those Patrick vibes.
Yeah. World famous Patrick.
I mean, he really did. He just laid on the floor.
Truth.
Oh yeah, so Patrick saw a shirt and pointed to Watto and went, "Look at this shirt they're wearing," and then realized it was just the shirt that they saw. And I forgot we made that into a shirt.
I wonder which one that was.
People who went
Again,
to San
Was
Francisco
it It's a
Fest
Weird
probably.
Night? The like shrugging Oscar statue?
No. It
Okay.
was. I want to say it was the Watto Cup shirt,
It could have been, yeah.
but I'm trying to figure out when that would have happened in relation to the Philly show.
People who went to the San Francisco show, how were all the different shows that you went to, like San Francisco shows in general, not just the George Lucas Talk Show? Because I know like, Floyd and some other people went to stuff that wasn't, directly that.
I mean, all but two of the shows I was at Sketchfest had Connor Griffin on them.
What were the two that weren't?
It was Chris Gethard and Tammy Sager doing improv together, which was very good. And all but 3. And then we saw Robbie Hoffman solo, and that was incredible. She recognized Intern Forrest and shouted out Dyke Vice.
So wow, that's incredible.
And Chris Garcia opened, and then she asked, she stuck her hand out and said, "Scissor me," to Intern Forrest, who correspondingly yeah.
And Forrest got all flustered. It was like, yes, Queen.
So all Planet Scum shows.
Yeah, all my shows were Planet Scum.
Yeah.
And then the Traventure Zone, which was also Planet Scum, but that had Connor and Griffin, but not George and Wada.
Right.
I saw Lily Sullivan's one-woman show. It is very good. She does a couple of her one character from Comedy Bang Bang that you would know. But she also just does a bunch of little bits about it's called Quit While You're Behind. So it's also meta about a person named Lily Sullivan, who's an actress and comedian who isn't being able to make it with auditions and stuff. And that's sort of part of the fabric within it. But it's just very absurd. And I had one brief interaction with her because she played a vague European accent in person, which was part of the reason for it. But she's like, I can help you get a tour of Europe so that you can get the experience of what it's like to go there. It's I just need a country from the audience. It's in Europe. And then people would shout stuff out, and she's like, no, this country is this type of country. And then she's like, the flag is green, white, and orange. And me, like an idiot, said, oh, Ireland? She's like, yes! I'm like, oh, fuck. And so she's like, what's your name? I'm like, Mavis. Well, why do you want to go to Ireland? I'm like, because I like Guinness. And she's like, perfect. She's like, hello, my name is Mavis. I'm so stupid. I come to Ireland because I like Guinness like all white people. Oh, look at me. There, now you don't have to go to Ireland anymore. And then she did that a few other times with other people being like, there, now you filthy trash Americans don't have to come to our continent ever. Thank you. Bye.
Robbie bullied someone into buying a new bathroom trash can.
Oh my God.
Because Robbie made fun of the fact that you should not have a trash can with a lid in your bathroom, because if you're on the toilet, how do you open it?
Oh.
So you need an open air one. And the next day, someone posted it, tagged Robbie in the story with their new trash can.
Beautiful.
I feel like that sentence was just an obvious thing to say about.
Yeah.
Yeah. She made someone. It's like, yeah, of course, yep.
And someone was talking back during her set, trying to be supportive, but not nailing it right. And Robbie almost kicked them out.
I'm honestly
That's the worst.
terrified of being in the same room as Robbie.
Robbie's as Robbie loves to say, she's the reverse Ellen. You think Ellen's nice, but Ellen's mean. You think Robbie's mean, but she's actually very nice.
I feel like, I cannot emotionally handle a teardown.
She won't necessarily tear you down. You just don't volunteer to be torn down in any of her set.
I feel like,
She did yell at Chris Garcia because he was trying to go to the bathroom. He had to sneak out from behind the stage to go to the bathroom, and I had flashbacks to Bryson.
Yeah,
because I was like, "Oh, Robbie's yelling at a man." That's familiar.
I mostly think of, I don't want to be treated the way Robbie treated Bryson. That's a scary thing.
Here's the thing
to face.
She knows
Bryson
well enough to do that. She doesn't know you well enough to do that.
No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect her to do that to me if I walked up, because she wouldn't know me from.
She would never. No.
Yeah.
If it's a very clear bit, she's very clear on when you are about to be incorporated into the bit in that way, so you know very much if you're.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we were chatting, and she said that. So, she very much makes you feel like a scene partner and not just being scolded.
Yeah. I'm still afraid of that.
That's fine. Hey, Vlogtoven, here. Do you know what? I'm going to share with you this. This is a good detail about my trip, too. While I went to the bathroom during the after midnight thing, Alice volunteered me to do a dance break with everyone.
Oh, no.
And when the person called my name, You cannot imagine how small I shrank myself and was like, oh no. No. And I was not happening. I'm like, nope, nixed it. Did not do it. Because I'm not ready for this. Like, I've just gotten in this fucking city. Don't throw me into the meat grinder like this. Not in front of Reggie Watts. Not in front of...
not in front of a taskmaster.
Yeah, this is not a task I signed up for. But it caught me off guard. I was surprised how much... Yes, literally. But no, literally, I was surprised how much I just all of a sudden froze. And I was like, oh, no, I don't want to do this. I also was, like, weirdly cramped in, like, a section. I'm like, I don't want to try and, like, get in front of people to, like, not be able to dance.
Well, I couldn't imagine anything more embarrassing than dancing.
Yeah, I'm not a dancer like that.
A, dancing. B, dancing in front of people. C, being forced to dance in front of people. D, being forced to dance in front of people who are celebrities.
And then the added of 2 of them who you idolized.
Yeah.
Who legitimately you're like, I don't want them to ever see me do anything remotely embarrassing in my goddamn life unless it is in my control.
Yeah, and yet in high school there were various occasions where I was randomly put in that situation and literally just danced as bad as possible, and that became a thing. But
yeah, to underscore the Robbie point, I'll tell you, Robbie, I think, knows I would not take it well being treated like Bryson got treated, and so never treats me that way.
That's good. That's good.
You'd be like, are these hidden truths you're speaking about me? Because there's truth in comedy, I've heard. I only say that because that's what I think.
Yeah.
Exactly. Absolutely. I'll take a random comedian calling me a Post Malone before picture.
And yeah, I would say, yeah, there's no one else I'm really as afraid of that than Robbie.
I'll give a little bit of behind the scenes. So when we went to Disneyland, I was the whole week I'd been just like female presenting, and so I just like trying to get used to it. But Disneyland is full of so many fucking people, and I'm just like not good around people in general, like a large group of people. But I was really self-conscious about it because I'd be like, oh, I make eye contact with people, and it's like, are they like looking at me or whatever and stuff. But then I was like kind of okay with it, and then Alex told me, he's like, oh yeah, Alice messaged me in the middle of it, and just to make sure like that things were going okay with me. And one of my roommates was like, are they at a place with a lot of people? It's like, are they at a place with a lot of people? Yes. Oh, it's just him getting overstimulated. He's fine. I'm like, yep. Or they're fine. I should say I misgendered myself even. I was like, they're fine. It's like, yep, that's all it was. There were just so many people where I'm just like, oh my God. I'm just like in an uncomfortable, like, new world here. But then afterwards, it's like, yeah, no one really gave a fuck. There was no issue. No one stopped me. There wasn't any sort of trans policing going on. It's just people just want to ride rides just like me and ride them as fast as they goddamn can without an earthquake happening literally the day that we were there.
Oh, wow.
It was so funny. That's true. And since I am like non-binary / genderqueer, I actually don't technically consider it misgendering myself. It's just in this format, Missy is, you know, canonically a she, they.
Voicey liked that.
Yeah. Gender is a construct anyway, so just get away with calling me as long as you call me. Call me on time for dinner.
There's
Voicey liked that one.
There's definitely a
call here.
There's definitely a, like, you can call me they or you can call me Jay. Just don't call me.
Yeah, what do you define
which I think is a very narrow joke overlap for us, where it's a genderqueer joke and a 1970s comedy joke.
Your show name is
Missy so non-binary. How non-binary is she? When she sees a restroom with both male and female, she ends up blanking.
Ooh, how about this? How about we change our show to blank calls with the former blankum?
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I know Missy well, and knowing her brain would start freezing but her bowels would start unleashing. She would piss herself. Can we say piss? Oh, piss, that's right. Yes. Piss on here. Well, knowing Missy, this would she'd go number 1 in the ladies' room, but she'd take a number 2 in the men's room because they deserve all the defiling it gets. Boom.
I just like the idea of the roast of Missy, where Missy is all the roasters.
Oh my god! Wow, Boise is awesome.
You had phony.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing for Missy's birthday this year.
Yes.
With other roasters too, but the headliner will be. Oh my god. We'll work on it. Okay. I need to breathe. Okay. This is what y'all could get if we just start producing game show shit too. This is what I want to do.
So we need donations. We need some wheels.
Idea.
We need some we need some Plinkos. We need some yodelers.
We need a big wheel.
We need a big wheel. We need a tiny wheel. We need a wheel of fortune.
I have a big gun hiding on it.
Wheel of morality.
There's a British show called Richard Osman's House of Games that has a bunch of mini games that are all like sort of trivia knowledge based, but there is a website where you can make your own. So I can make Mr. Information's House of Games and get a bunch of mini games that you all could play with.
Oh, how's that Mad Libs template for
How's that Mad Lib going?
Wow, Voicey is. It's hard. Look, we used to have sound effects that sound like Voicey, but now Voicey is just taking over.
Alice also gave me a couple of nice little gifts.
I was. Thank you for your service. Ooh, what's that?
This is a Padme action figure, which goes nicely with my vaguely obscure characters from different Star Wars episode collection, which features the Rancor Keeper from Return of the Jedi, Lobot from Empire Strikes Back, and Aunt Beru from Pre-Burning from A New Hope.
Oh.
And then also because she was getting like a 3 for something thing, I own this fucking movie.
You own the Joker now?
A movie we both agreed was awful. I now have to own.
I mean, at least you can...
Because I'm going to have to rewatch it before I go see Joker 2 in theaters for my Lady Gaga. Because they're going to bait all of us queers into it. We have to go support a musical now.
This is how you became the Joker.
Apparently Yes, this is literally my descent into my Joker.
Not
Well,
the Joker.
Oh no, I was going to make a terrible joke. And I can't because it might break Twitch's rules. I will DM in a private message and let Phony and Plugtoven know.
Okay, definitely don't make a joke that
Whatever
might
I say, go for it.
Don't listen to Talkie. Do it. Do it.
Well, here's what it is. Hey, I got a version of it. Here's the PG-13 version. Kate Berlant better watch her back, otherwise I'm going to Tanya Harding that bitch soon.
I see what you're doing. Okay.
That's where I was getting, yes.
In Minecraft...
I was going to do a Joker joke, and I'm like, no.
No.
I can't do that joke.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
I played Minecraft for the first time with my nephew the other day, and we were running around having fun with it, and then he's like, let's do Tecmo Bowl. I'm like, sure. So we played the Nintendo football game, and he spanked my butt. It's like,
Yeah.
You're doing good, kid. The future looks bright.
I played Lego Fortnite, which is basically Minecraft.
Essentially. Because in lieu of Baldur's Gate one evening, correct?
Yeah.
I still don't know how they got an Oscar for that. I'm just going to move on. We are dangerously close to the end of our time here. We do need to think about the theme for next week. Now, we do have the big document of lists that we can talk about. We can also, if there's something that people in the chat, based on what we've said today, have a feeling of, let me know. But I don't have an inkling either way. I don't feel pulled toward one certain topic based on what we've talked about. That's fair. What was on the list here? Let me get the list pulled up in a second, like a good producer host would do automatically.
Are there any seasonally related topics we should think of? Because we did not even think about Valentine's Day.
It is President's Day. This
Oh,
week. I don't know if
well-
we want to do Dead President's Day, but
Well, I mean, we've had.
I mean,
think
presidents are
president-
loyal viewers of this program.
Exactly. I believe that's president.
Yes.
So is that what we're doing? Or it's like all the president's men?
Ooh, all
where it's just like all of the best friends and lovers.
Oh, the
possibly,
presidents blend. They
of
do their
various
premium
presidents.
blend sets.
Ooh, all the presidents blend.
Or their coffee.
what? Okay. Do we want to do
all the
something-
presidents rend. We rend them
all the
asunder.
president's pets?
Ooh.
Show us your presidential pets.
Oh,
All
I'll
of
show you
Lincoln's
checkers.
I think just very simply, it's miscall the president's friends. Men, sorry, miscall.
Miscalls with the former presidents.
Miscalls the president's
Calls.
men.
Or miscalls all the former presidents.
It also will
Miscalls
be
with the
after
former
President's Day.
True.
It will be after.
All the presidents then. What's all the presidents then?
Whose presidents are they anyway?
We can play the election simulator President Infinity and simulate as many times as we want the 2024 election or other elections. That's not me
Yay,
doing stuff in my
I want to
spare
see
time.
how many non-consecutive
fun.
terms we can get Grover Cleveland if there's no term limits.
Yeah.
Grover.
Oh, wait, no. I want to see how many non-consecutive terms we can get Grover from Sesame Street.
Yes!
Ooh.
Yes.
Can you make custom candidates?
Technically, yes.
I love
What-
that.
Was the Phone Ranger ever a president?
I mean, I have some breaking news about the Phone Ranger.
Oh, God.
So next week,
Rep.
JFK Simulator, right?
Oh, God.
JFK Reloaded.
Grover versus Alamo. I think we should do all the president's friends.
All the president's friends.
All the president's friends sounds good.
Yeah, because then it can be many things.
It can be whatever we
all
want it
encompassing
to be.
But
I
what
like
we
it.
need
What?
is your last words,
Yes.
Missy Information and Blog Tofan. Missy, what are your final words before we
I'm going to blow it up.
blow it up? Blow it up.
We'll blow your planet up.
We will. We'll do it.
We got Death Star.
We've done it. We got Death Star.
You know that we got a Death Star.
We got Death Star.
You gotta get your last words in.
I know, I'm being patient. I'm not letting a word in. I stand before you all, and I want to thank you all for the gameplay we've done. I know this game is intense, and you made the decision that you had to do. But from the beginning of this game, and from here on out, in my heart, I'm a traitor. Yeah! Fuck you all! I'm out!
Blocktoven, last words.
It turns out the presidents were the friends we had all along.